Uair géad míle fáilte go chlór Fleadhfest ó Thuaisceart Contae Kildare, ceantar mín landálacht agus daireacht ina bhfuil na bailte Mánuad, Kildrehid agus Limavh Rudáin Site. The River Lyreen, Rye and Liffey flow through this beautiful area, which is also traversed by the Grand and Royal Canals, the main railway lines to the west and the south of Ireland, and the M4 motorway to the west.
Tá severs airta, cultúr agus stara ag buint leis an gantar seo, agus bei blasa de a chur láthir sa chlór seo inniu. Today we visit Selbridge, Leixlip, Maynooth and the surrounding townlands to explore the rich heritage, history and culture that they offer. The traditional arts are very vibrant locally, and the journey will be interspersed with lively music, song and dance. In Machara, Farshing and Condae in Seo a Gildrehid atá Castletown House site. It is a majestic Palladian structure built in 1722 by William Connolly, Speaker of the House of Commons. The building itself has a central block, flanked by two pavilions. In 1754, the house passed to Tom Connolly, whose wife, Louisa, grew up in the nearby Carton House in Maynooth. Louisa's sister, Emily, married James Fitzgerald, the first Duke of Leinster, and continued to live in her family home in Carton House after her marriage. Louisa Connolly had no children, but her sister Emily had 22. One of her sons was Lord Edward Fitzgerald, who joined the United Irishmen in 1792 and took part in the Irish Rising of 1798. Castletown was bought by Desmond Guinness of Leixlip Castle in 1967 and became the headquarters of the Irish Georgian Society. The house and lands were given to the Irish state and is now operated and looked after by the Office of Public Works. The parklands which surround Castletown House are home to many species of woodland bird, water birds and a variety of animal and plant life. Shiro Hui o Castletown House tá Connolly's Folly site. Catherine Connolly, wife of William Connolly, was responsible for commissioning the building of Connolly's Folly within the grounds of Castletown Estate. The 140-foot high obelisk was erected in 1740 to give employment to the people of the area after a particularly severe winter. It can be seen from Castletown House and is built exactly perpendicular to the house. It is a structure composed of several arches, topped by a massive obelisk pillar. Underneath is the grave of Marie Guinness, the first wife of Desmond Guinness of Leixlip Castle. The wonderful barn was built on the Leixlip side of Castletown Estate in 1743. As with Connolly's Folly, the build was requested by Catherine Connolly just after a time of a severe famine in Ireland, circa 1740, providing work for those in desperate need and was used as a grain store for many years. The conical-shaped building has the stairs ascending around the exterior of the building. The barn can be seen from the east windows of Castletown House. We are in the beautiful and recently renovated hunting room located on the first floor of the stable wing of Castletown House. The musicians gathered here are members of Crea Varcla I Lahartha in Leixlip.
The branch was formed on the 25th of February 1981 in St Mary's GA in Leixlip. It grew from a dance group that participated in score competitions under the tutelage of Anna Pegley. The branch is still very involved in promoting dance in all its forms, sets, figures and Sean-nós dancing. The music classes have grown from very small beginnings to now include weekly classes in whistle, flute, concertina, fiddle, banjo, accordion and harp. Duets, trios and groupie ceol have evolved from these classes, and the inclusion of all members in playing music is a strong ethos of the branch. As we journeyed downriver from Celbridge, we reached the town of Leixlip, which grew from a Norse settlement at the confluence of the River Rye and the River Liffey. These settlers named the village Laxlop, or Salmon Leap, and the town retains the Irish version, Neam an Bhrodáin, to this day. One of the main historical connections between the towns of Celbridge and Leixlip is Arthur Guinness. Arthur lived in Celbridge, County Kildare, and at the age of 27, his godfather, Arthur Price, Church of Ireland Archbishop of Cashel, bequeathed him £100 in his will. With this money, Arthur set up a small brewery in Leixlip. His brother Richard worked with him, and after 4 years brewing in Leixlip, he moved to a larger premises in Dublin in 1759, which is now known all over the world as St James's Gate Brewery. Arthur Guinness died in 1803. His burial ground is Uachtarard, Ardclough, County Kildare. At the confluence of the rivers Rye and Liffey, we see the beautiful and stately Leixlip Castle. Leixlip Castle was built in 1172 by Adam de Hereford, a follower of the Norman Strongbow. This castle is built on a rock which overlooked the Salmon Leap on the River Liffey. Leixlip Castle was one of the first Norman castles built in Ireland and has passed through many hands over the years. It was bought by Desmond Guinness in 1958, and the Guinness family reside in the castle to this day. It is one of the oldest inhabited castles in Ireland. Tá sé soléir go bhfuil fás agus bura úsáid na Gaeilge i dúsgart Childara ó na seascoidí I le. Ón déan áireamh is déarnaí a hábhail sa séideag, tá níos mó ná 8,000 cainteoirí rialtas a chundaí, agus tá Líomar Bhrodáin agus Má Nuad an dara agus an tríú baile is mó ó thaobh labhairt na Gaeilge taobh mód an Ghaeltacht. Inis tá Deirdre ní Dhealar go linn, chun níos mó eolais a thabhairt dúin ás an teanga, mór thimpeall agus bhunú Scoil Chearúlaí Ghallaí. Is Gaelscoil í Scoil Chearúlaí Ghallaí, an chéad Gaelscoil sa chundaí tá suite Líomar Bhrodáin I Gundaí Childara, agus fríomhaid in na scoile Deirdre ní Dhealar go liom agus sealmach caite aici sa scoil. Inis do Deirdre faoi stair na scoile. Cé as a dánig an taobh bonscoil lán-ghaeilge a bhunú in 1969?
Well, in 1969 bhí léime bhradan animnathe mar ceann go bhrúachmhailte carrmhaile an clia a bhí le Forbert, agus bhí go leor tógáil ar siúl ag an am, agus go leor tailín lánú nua fósta agus daoine bogasteach as gach ceart gan tír. Agus tháinig grúpa le chéile, grúpa Gaelgóirí, chuid a cúgur rá clánóg acu agus grúpa eile, chuid eile nach rá clántas I go fóliach acu, ach bhí éon aim amháin acu agus sé sin idachas trí Gaeilge a chur ar fáil agad páistí. Agus tháinig siad le chéile, phlééis siad dógur siad cruinniú peibli in ní anóir go 1969 agus d'oibre siad leo agus in ní Manfor 1969 oscliú scoil le éon rang amháin, 60 páiste I Seomrach Café an Cumanú Clas Gael.
Agus in níorthá go bhfuil níos mó a bhhad níos mó buanna má se ná dúna leis an dáthangachas.
Cínte, níl mé ná cuimhnú ar irid agus míbhantáiste a bháin a bhainean le dáthangachas.
Agus mar sin becheart amach muid ile a tuairt buin dáthangachas.
Cínte agus iltangachas go dibhan.
Gur míle me agat írdre. The uilleann pipes are thought to have been developed in the early 19th century, and there have been many pipers in Kildare since then, most notably Liam O'Flynn of Planxty fame. Here in Leixlip, a well-known and skilled piper and pipe maker, Donnacha Keegan and his family are steeped in the tradition of uilleann piping. Tá muid a tuairt cuairt éireannis chun na hille óla se áil, seans go mbeidh túnbeag agam leo.
The pipe making in my family goes back to the late 1800s. My great-grandfather, he was called Old Peter. I know we have a recording of him with Brandon Brannock and Dan O'Dowd, and he talks about, my grandfather Peter talks about his father, the turn of the century. So he was very involved with the Willie Rosum and Thomas Rosum. They were the great pals because my grandfather was from Wicklow. So this is a set my grandfather made in 1928, and he would have been 37 at the time, I think. So he was he's well into making. I thought that this would have been made at his prime, but we were lucky enough to pick up the set intact. So I got interested in the pipes, and I worked in engineering for a while with lathes and that. So the man who made my pipes, Johnny Burke of Bray, God rest him, we made a set of pipes together. That's how I learned from him. So once the order comes in, this is ebony here. It's the first thing is it's drilled out, then it's left for a year, then it's half machined, and so that there's no little changes in the wood. So then this is the finished Article 2 regulators here. So when they're read I let the customer know in a few weeks, just to give them some notice that pipes is ready. And I usually, if it's regulators and that, I take the set in and balance the whole set to make sure it's all working correctly, you know. So then hopefully they're happy, and I always encourage them to come back for a service, but if you make them properly, they don't come back to you unless the reads something goes wrong with them, you know. But it's so time consuming, you can't rush the job, you know. Cormac, we got him playing early, like hoping he'd stick with him, and after a few arguments with him because he's a perfectionist, so he actually progressed then when he went to one of the summer schools. Really enjoyed it because he saw the other kids his own age playing. But I love his piping now, I'm very proud of him, you know. But it's a lifelong journey, you know. It'll take 5 or 6 years from playing, making reeds, even to get on that first step, you know, because there's so much to it, it's unbelievable, you know. So the Pipers Club now run reed making classes every Tuesday, and there's also summer schools, like the Willie Clancy Summer School is a great melting pot for reed makers and pipes. So they run a week-long reed making workshop as well, you know. So that's, you have to immerse yourself into just the reeds first. That's what I'd always recommend, you know.
The
dance tradition has been strong in Leixlip since the 1970s, when there were many step dancing schools in operation. As mentioned previously, Craobh Mharcla í Láthairtha in Leixlip is very involved in the teaching of sets, figures and channels dancing, and since its inception it has competed in Ceol na Cíomhraí and Fleadh na Cheol competitions, bringing back many honours. Tá an grúpa chun rialann na bríomhara a henaminis agus léime meisteach chun chopla stepianna. The townland of Moyglare is situated north of Maynooth, and this beautiful rendition by Michael Quinn of Pretty Susan of Moyglare takes us on the next stage of our rambles from Leixlip to Maynooth.
When from sea first I landed, I had roving in mind. I rambled all over my true love to find. Then I met pretty Susan, her cheeks like the rose. Her skin was like the lily fair, or the wildflower that grows. Her skin was like the lily fair, or the wildflower that grows. Oh, a long time I courted her till I wasted my store. Her love turned to hatred because I was poor. She said, I love another whose fortune I'll share. So begone from pretty Susan, the pride of Moyglare. Yes, begone from pretty Susan, the pride of Moyglare. Broken hearted next morning as I walked down the road, I met pretty Susan with her young man so bold. And as I gazed on her, my heart filled with care, and I sighed for pretty Susan, the pride of Moyglare. Yes, I sighed for pretty Susan, the pride of Moyglare. Once more o'er the ocean I'm resolved for to go. I'll go to the Indies with a heart full of woe. There I beheld maidens with jewels so rare, but none like pretty Susan, the pride of my glare. No, none like pretty Susan, the pride of my glare. Sometimes I am jovial, sometimes I am sad, since my true love has gone off with some other lad. But since at a distance no more I'll despair, so my blessings on you, Susan, the pride of my glare. Yes, my blessings on you, Susan, the pride of my glare.
Tá muid arás I Manú denis, agus tá meag bonamháile ag aglas na Uire. We have made our journey back to Maynooth, a very old and distinguished university town on the Lyreen River. It was once the capital of Ireland when it was governed by the Fitzgeralds from their stronghold in Maynooth Castle. The town is known as Maynooth Oscuilga, Tagan an Loganum o Vacharanúda, the plains of Nude, who was one of the gods of the ancient Irish. I am now about to enter the beautiful St Mary's Church of Ireland. It was built in the Gothic style in 1858, incorporating the fabric of an earlier church which was constructed in 1248. Balia Taviste tá Ceoltóirí ó Craobh Mhainúd Comhaltas Ceoltóirí na hÉireann. This branch of Comhaltas was founded in September 2012 and has been active in passing on the traditional arts through weekly classes in music, song, dance and Gaeilge. The branch has been very active in all aspects of the community of Maynooth since its inception. Agus inis ar rá leis an gceol.
Dír Canachan Shapil ta Chashlan Vanud Sitcha. This area of land on which Maynooth Castle stands was granted to Maurice Fitzgerald in 1176, and the castle was built by Gerald Fitzmaurice. It was home to the Fitzmaurice and Fitzgerald family for many years, and the town grew around this settlement. The Fitzgerald occupation of the castle ended with the 1534 rebellion of Silken Thomas, and the castle fell after a 10-day siege. It was restored from 1630 to 1635, but was once again destroyed in the 1640s during the 11 Years' War. The Fitzgeralds left the castle for good, making Carton House on the eastern side of the town their family seat. Tavis jit the Nagati Mora an seo in Achan Chushlan tá Colashtan é Fork. St. Patrick's Pontifical College was founded in 1795 for the training of Catholic diocesan clergy in Ireland. The college began in Stoit House, and many fine buildings were erected as the college expanded. These include the Collegiate Chapel, Riverstown Lodge, Rhetoric and Logic houses, and a Pugin-designed quadrangle. The National University of Ireland Maynooth was opened in 1997, and it consists of 2 connected campuses. An older South Campus shared with St. Patrick's College, and across the public road a modern North Campus. Maynooth is the only town in Ireland to have 2 universities. All other national universities are in cities. Táimid chun díreach seach ar an rince inis, agus I láthair lom tá ríthe na dúil ban a cha a síl ag múna stepana ar fud na háite seo.
Dígur Rita, cos tá tú hain?
Tam ionach mai agus tú héine.
Tá go má Rita gur míle mad. So tá tú hain ag múna rinca gailech an seo I manúd ar fan na blianta Rita. So, inis gom gitte beag fút hain agus a chuid taithí.
Oh well, Tom McMoona feag Craig a blin, Tom an Shan.
So, Rita, tell me a little bit about what your girls are going to do for us today.
Today the girls are going to do a soft shoe dance because we're dancing indoors. So they're going to do a rendition of Strings of Fire.
The town of Maynooth comprises of one principal or main street with some side streets and interconnecting lanes. Moving up through the town from the castle, we see Courthouse Square to the right. At the eastern end of Main Street is the tree-lined Carton Avenue leading to Carton House, which was the seat of the Duke of Leinster. This 1,000-acre estate came into the ownership of the Fitzgerald family in 1170, but the present house was built for Robert Fitzgerald, who found Maynooth Castle too dilapidated to be restored, and instead he moved to Carton. The house was an imposing mansion built in the classical style, and its boundary wall is 5.5 miles in length and stretches over 2 counties, both Kildare and Meath. Tá an Gaeilge léirithe an láidir i Máinúd. Tá gá gaelscoileanna agus gael choláiste an. Tá chóirsaí 3 leibhéal ar fáil freisin san óscoil ina bhfuil ranóg sean Gaeilge agus ranóg nua Gaeilge. Táim chun dras cainte a bheith an le póir go murcú, tróirí Gaeilge le ceoltas cultúir na hÉireann faoi stad na Gaeilge sa ceantar.
Agus inis a fórc, go dé mar atá tú héin.
Go má buchas Lydia.
Ionach. Agus tá tú héin tar ró lornach agat hain is saoil na Gaeilge an seo i Máinúd. So inis gom pí beag fuút hain ar dús agus an sin faoi de ró ag chur an Gaeilge chun cín i measc fóbal Máinúd.
Okay, well, Pádraig go mar acu is anam dom is curca go róchas mé. Há an su go Máinúd mar bhíos é gobar in Intel.
Agus inis dom git beag faoin chuí a míns an Gaeilge a chur chun cín an seo i Máinúd.
Well, tá is dócha ní rud dachar é mar tá cultúr Gaeilge an sa Máinúd aber ag dul na blianta fadó hin aber. Bhí tú rá níos túisce faoin gasláán agus ach bhí Gael ar fada labhairt agus na Gaeltaigh aber bhí idir Gaeilgeacha, bhí aber Sax Mhéarlacha agus bhí Norman Frenchacha ach Circeal Chórágaing
Ionach.
Ja, bhí Circeal Chórágaing. Well, aber sa craobh aber bíon Circeal Chórágaing agus bhí míid ag muoine Gael dó siúd gur bhaile
agus an bhfuil fáilte ar duine ar bit teacht ag na Circeal Chóra.
Well, is chuir míid fáilte ribh aine gur bhaile tachtasteach.
Fiú manú le coppla focail a
Fiú manú bhfuil focail ar bithe cahabar. Is féidir le bheith géisteach ar dúis agus an son bheith labhairt sin an slí is fearr. Agus chuir míid fáilte ribh aine gur bhaile tachtasteach, éisteach ar dúis agus son labhairt.
Ionach. Deirhann go bhfuil todhchaí Tharbh gheall ag an Gaeilge an seo i Máinúd dóir an gá bonscoileanna na lán Gaeilge agus an Gaeilge choláiste atá oscailta inis agus gur míle maithad as ocht caintlam agus ben sultas an chuidead go lá.
Fáilte rót agus gur maithagad.
The ancient sites of Larrabrine and Tagadow lie in townlands outside Maynooth. Larrabrine is at the northern end of the town on the Kilcock Road. This monastic site consists of a church which was founded in the 6th century and dedicated to Saint Senan. The present ruined church was built in Norman times on the previous ecclesiastical settlement. Local lore leads us to believe that there was a tunnel between Larrabrine and Maynooth Castle, but no evidence of it remains today. The site has played a major part in the tradition of the parish for over 1,500 years, and the continual use of the graveyard has ensured an unbroken association with the lives and deaths of the people of the district up to the present day. The second monastic settlement is the Round Tower and Church at Tagado, about 5 kilometres from Maynooth. It was founded by St. Tua, who was an abbot at nearby Clane Monastery. It was named Tag Tua, and from that name Tagado was derived. The limestone tower stands 20 metres tall and the entry door is 3.5 metres up from the ground. In times of invasion or plundering, the monks would gather all their sacred possessions and climb into the tower and pull the ladder up. This tower was used for about 1,000 years. The church beside the tower was built in 1830, but was only used for 40 years before it fell into disrepair.
We have been on a lovely journey, and now we listen to a newly composed song that will take us on a flying tour of Kildare. It was written by Mary Ryan from the Kilteal branch of Cultus. So let's sit back and enjoy Roisin Howley giving us the rendition of Sweet County Kildare.
I've travelled the world and Ireland all round, seen wonderful sights that will surely astound. From the Great Wall of China down to Timbuktu, from the green hills of Antrim to Ballymaloe. America's great, the north and the south, of Africa's beauty there's surely no doubt. But I'd swap the whole lot for one evening to share with my friends and companions in County Kildare. So come on, lily whites, and join me in song, and sing out with voices so true and so strong. And let all Ireland know there is none to compare with the boys and the girls of sweet County Kildare. St. Bridget, our saint, will herd in the spring, her curative powers some pleasure might bring. Take a trip to her well and you'll surely find out she might cure your lumbago or bad case of gout. Leak slip for the salmon in water so clear, the canal in Kilcock bring back memories dear. The boys out in Straffin are said to declare, sure the golfing is mighty in County Kildare. Head down to Athy and hear pipers at play, with bargains and banter on a fine market day. Then through Castledermot, the High Cross and Moon, and into Cuchulainn for a pint of the tune. Our clock for the hurlers, big-hearted and strong, in silence the barges meander along. Rathangan is farmed with peatland so rare, oh, there's riches aplenty in County Kildare. So come on, lily whites, and join me in song, and sing out with voices so true and so strong. And let all Ireland know there is none to compare with the boys and the girls of sweet County Kildare. At racing and betting some people might frown, but you can't bait a day out in dear Punchestown. You might meet Father Sean when his masses are said, or the bow Ruby Walsh with his great Father Ted. Maynooth for the learning, it won't let you down, with scholars abundant all over the town. The Liffey it flows, true salvage so rare, oh, there's riches aplenty in County Kildare. So come on, lily whites, and join me in song, and sing out with voices so true and so strong. And let all Ireland know there is none to compare with the boys and the girls of sweet County Kildare.
Tá ceann scríbe buinte amach an. Bhualamar le golóir daoine simúla ar an slí agus tásúlán gur bhain sibh sult as an glór. Ba wathlinn armhuichas a gabhad the gachéine a Kerriglin ar an astra seo. We thank you for watching this programme from North Kildare, encapsulating the rich history, heritage and culture of Maynooth, Selbridge and Leixlip.
Tá súlagan gur hahan an chlár lib, agus go méid seans agah cuairte thuairtear an dúcha seo amach an seo. We hope you will visit these towns sometime in the future and shall savour all they have to offer. Slán go fóin!